Hello! Somebody asked for a lesson about improvising, so here it is. Mostly people are asking me about accompaniment patterns for ballads, but this YouTube channel is all about Greek rhythms, and ballads are played in many countries. So I will explain how to improvise with the Kalamatianos rhythm, and then later I will show how you can use this knowledge also for other rhythms. One measure in Kalamatianos music has normally 7 counts with the grouping 3, 2, 2. So that means that you can count 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. When people clap along with Kalamatianos music, they clap on the counts 1, 4 and 6, like this. Milo mu kokino, roido fameno. On the first count of every group there is an accent, and the accent of the first group is a little louder. Now let's start with the left hand patterns. These patterns you can use when you want to play the melody with your right hand, or you want to play an instrumental part. So if I look now at the music for Milo mu kokino, it starts with a D chord, so I can simply play with the bass a D. That is then the root of the chord. So let's do that. So then you have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. So when I sing along with that, Milo mu kokino, roido vameno. So in between there was the G chord. So then I had to switch, of course, also with the bass. So, and since I play only with my left hand, I have my right hand free to play the melody. Now one single bass note can be enough, but if you want your accompaniment sound fuller, there are many things that you can do. For example, you can play chords with your left hand, but you must not play them too low because that sounds terrible. Let me show you that. So the solution is to play the chords an octave higher, or in an inversion. But now, when the melody and the chords are so close together, it also doesn't sound that good. So then you can play, for example, also your melody an octave higher. Another thing that you can do is play a double bass. Because if I play a whole chord low, it sounds bad. But when you play a double bass, it sounds perfectly fine. So let's do that. I was now playing the root and the note 1 octave higher. So like this. But what you can also do, and what sounds also nice, is to play the root and the fifth. Now, how do you find the fifth within a chord, it is just the fifth note of the scale within that chord. So when I have the D chord, then the scale of that chord is like this. So if I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the A is the fifth of the D chord. So when I play the root and the fifth, we have this. And this sounds also very good. When you omit the third note of a D chord, then you get the D5 chord. And these chords are also called power chords because they sound very powerful. Now, let's see how you can find the power chord for the G chord. What I also played before, but now let's take a look at it. So we look again at the scale of that chord. So not of the scale of the key that the song is in, really of the scale of the chord itself. So that is like this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the D is the fifth note of the G chord. So then you get this. Oh, and this sounds again a powerful chord, like the D5. So this is the D5 and this is the G5. Now, often there is also the octave note played to make it even more powerful. Then you get this. So then it sounds almost like an electric guitar. Now the accompaniment is a little loud in comparison to the melody. You can of course play a little softer with your left hand, but what you can also do is play octaves with your right hand, like this. And then it is nice not to play the octave note at the same moment, but to play it just a little later. So not like this, but like this. I have given already many examples of how you can play an accompaniment for the Kalamatianos, but I didn't even change anything of the rhythm. And this is something very important that you can do. You can leave notes out on quieter moments in the music, or you can add notes. So for example, when you want to play a fill to indicate another section of the music. Now, when you want to leave out notes, it's important that you do not leave out the most important note. And as I said in the beginning, the accent on the first group is the loudest. And this is also the most important accent. It is the start of every measure. Then the accent on count 4 is also important, but okay, every now and then it's not bad to leave it out when you need it. And the same goes for count 6. So let's take a look how it sounds when we leave out the note on count 6. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. And this you can do with everything that I taught before. Now let's add a note. You can hear very often a note on count 3. So let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. Now let's use the same rhythm but play it in a different way. You can use this alternating between the root note and the note that is an octave above in many different music styles, and when you use it in the rumba, then it looks a lot like the pattern that I played for the Calamatianos. And I'm not talking about the ballroom rumba, but the Balkan rumba. And then it sounds like this. And now it's not only, let's say, that I play it faster because the Balkan rumba is normally faster, but also the first note takes a little longer. So there is a clear difference, but they have a lot in common. And for example, an older rhythm that you can do with this alternating is the Ciftatelli. It goes like this. And then you can also do the Zebekiko. And there are many more music styles in which you can use this, for example, disco. And of course, you can also use it for ballads. Or here is another pattern. And you can also, every now and then, do a variation in between. For example, like this. As you maybe noticed, I used now the 5th note of the chord scale, and this is also a very useful note, and it is often used on the count that is also very important, but not the most important. On the most important count, you play normally the root, and on the little less, but still very important count, you can play this fifth note. So, for example, if I play this march rhythm, now I play on the first count, which is the most important. So on the first count of every measure, I play the root. So in this case, that is the C, because I played now a C chord. And in the middle of the measure, there is also an important accent, but a little less. And there I play the fifth. And what is the fifth of a C chord? That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that is the G. So then you alternate between the C and the G. Now let's do that for the Kalamatianos. The Kalamatianos has the most important accent on count 1, so there we play the root, and the other important accent, but a little less important, is on count 4, and there we play the fifth. So now I will play the D chord, so then we play the D on count 1, and we play the A, which is the fifth, on count 4, like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And of course you can also add an extra note as a variation. I will now play some ballad patterns for which I use only the root, the fifth, and the note that is an octave above the root. But these are just examples. You can play whatever you like as long as it sounds good. All the left-hand patterns that I have shown so far, you can easily convert into two-hand patterns. So if we look at the Kalamatianos, where we were alternating between the root and the octave, so this 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. Then we can, for the root, we can still play the root with our left hand, but for the octave, we can play the chord. So that we have, for example, this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. I played now the bass an octave higher, but you can also play it here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, or both. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. And what you can also do is use the fifth. So with the bass, when you have the little less important accent. So then you have this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. Sometimes you want to play as an accompaniment the bass and the chord, but at the same time you want to play with your right hand the melody. But then you need free hands. So what you can do is also play a part of the chord. So, for example, I can play a little higher and then like this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. So now it is sounding a lot what I was doing like what I was playing before. So the bass I play exactly the same. So on the count 1 I play the root, and on count 4 I play the fifth. And when I want to play the chord, I play only the third and the fifth of the chord. So these. If you want to hear the full chords during the accompaniment, you can also use your pedal, but then you need to lift your foot for a moment at every chord change. Now I am playing on an electronic keyboard and my pedal is just a simple on-off switch. So it becomes often too much. So when you play on an electronic keyboard, you might have to release the pedal more often depending on the melody or what you are playing. So, but you can, for example, if I now hold my pedal all the time, it sounds like this. And now I can, for example, release it for a moment every time that I play a bass note, so that the sound becomes a little more clear. So you can do like this. Now let's convert a ballad pattern that I have shown before, for example this one. You can play that with the two hands like this. And you can also make a little variation. Now, as you might have seen, I use for this little part at the end also the second note of the chord scale, and the second note is also mostly quite safe to use. It often sounds very nice. Here's another ballad example. When you play a double bass, so the root together with an octave, you can use this octave note also to make nice rhythm variations. So, for example, if my basic rhythm is this, you can easily make an extra note with your thumb of your left hand. So then you can have something like this. So I will play it a little slow that you can see what is going on. Now let's combine the two previous examples. So I will use the second note of the chord scale and I will add an extra bass note. slow. When you are improvising, the possibilities are really endless. And now that I'm making this video, there are coming a lot of ideas in my mind. And one of them is that it's also nice when during the pattern you change the inversion of the chord. So I will use now the previous example, add some extra bass notes with my thumb, and I will also change the inversion of the chord. Here is an example of a ballad pattern with an arpeggio, and I use also the second note of the chord scale. And now we can play after that also the G chord. But when I play this after each other, the chord sounds a little too far away from each other. So I will play it again that you can hear that. Now it's not bad, but I would prefer if the chords are a little closer to each other. So if I change the inversion of the G chord, so I play like this the D chord, and then to have the G chord very close, I can play it like this. So let's try to do an arpeggio with that. And now I want to go down, and then if I do this, it sounds totally terrible because these notes are not in the scale. So let me show that. So we have to look which notes are in the scale. So let's say when we have the G chord, so okay, for sure we can use this fizz. So when we do the arpeggio again, but then when we do that, to me it sounds not that nice, so we can shift it a little more. Let's see. So now when we play here the D at this point, which is really in the G chord, it sounds better. So you can just play a little with the notes, which note sounds the best in the arpeggio, and this you use. Sometimes you need to search a little, but now when I play it, it sounds like this. And to me that sounds very nice. After all these examples, I want to give some advice on how you can learn how to improvise. And the best is to listen to a lot of different music styles. And then I mean really listen. So not listen to music like a normal person would do, but try to isolate sounds. So listen, for example, only to the piano. Then listen only to the drums. Even if you don't play drums, it doesn't matter. Listen what kind of rhythms that are played on the drums, because you can use them when you're playing piano. A lot of my inspiration for the piano comes from the drums that I hear. So, and then every time just listen to something else, listen to the vocals, listen to the different melodies, the different notes that are played. And after some time, your brain knows automatically how you can produce your own melodies and rhythms. So you just have to listen a lot and to get used a lot to the different kinds of music. And then also, don't be afraid just to try something new. Just see if it sounds good, and even if it is not what you have learned with music theory or whatever, it doesn't matter. When it sounds good, it probably is good. So yeah, I hope that this video was useful, and thank you for watching. Ευχαριστώ.